Hey crew members, welcome to the Abingdon Co channel where we go on adventures with women in non-traditional industries. Today we are in sunny Scottsdale and we're at Kachina Park to meet Clair Marie, who's known as the Base Girl. She's going to teach me how to base jump. So this is something completely new to me. I am totally afraid of heights, so making the hike is going to be absolutely beautiful, but I'm not going to be jumping today, but Claire is probably going to try and convince me to skydive in a future date, which I'm like, she's already been trying to talk to me about that, and I don't think that's going to happen. But I definitely want to see what this whole base jumping world is all about, so I'm really excited for today and for her to kind of teach me how she got into it. She makes a living doing this. She's a huge proponent of the adrenaline sports, and she also teaches people how to rig parachutes. She goes around the world. She experiences Mother Nature unlike most people. She's an avid mountain biker, skydiver, and just outdoor living her life. It's pretty awesome. So I can't wait for you to meet her. She's going to be here. We're going to meet here at the park. She'll show me how to pack the chute. And ladies, it is time to jump! Great to see you.
Good to see you too. How have you been?
Too long. Yeah, I've been great. You have been kicking ass.
Been all over the place, all the time. That's how it goes. We're actually right across the street, basically, from one of the most well-known base jumps in all of Phoenix. It's Camelback Mountain. So, yeah, just gonna pack up and go do a jump.
Awesome. Well, yeah, you're gonna kind of show me how this works because I have no idea.
Yeah.
So,
luckily I have a really good idea. So.
I'm glad. I'm very glad.
I was the youngest female base jumper ever, and
that's right.
I try not to get stuck on that because I was back when I was 16, but I just like to have the most fun.
Awesome. Can I help you with all of this, or is it
actually,
pretty...
if you want to take this and walk it back all the way until it's stretched all the way out.
Okay.
And then the cool thing about base is you pack it all on the ground, and then all of that fits right in here. So
that's awesome.
You got the nice little...
Your entire life is in that bag.
Exactly. Exactly, my whole life.
So don't let me distract you.
No. I don't let people distract me. I started base jumping when I was 16, and really I just bugged this guy for a while, telling him that he should teach me how to jump because I had always been super active and I'd always wanted to base jump, and his initial response was no, because no one my age had ever jumped before. But after a couple emails of me absolutely insisting, he was like, oh, you're serious about this. And yeah, a couple weeks later, he took me on my very first base jump off of a 480-foot power tower at 10 o'clock at night with no moon, because it was illegal. So this is a lot more mellow than that jump.
So base jumping is very much kind of an illegal-ish activity.
It can be. Base jumping, unfortunately, has a lot of illegal aspects, especially when it comes to location. We get charged with trespassing a lot. Unfortunately, in Las Vegas and all of Nevada, because of some base jumpers that jumped a bunch of the casinos in one night, they decided to make base jumping a felony in all of Nevada.
It's a felony.
It's a felony. As fun as this is, and although it's my career, it's not worth getting a felony over.
No.
Ever.
No, not at all. This is why we're down here in Phoenix and not doing this in Las Vegas.
Exactly, because there are some really good jumps in Vegas, actually. Some of my favorite jumps are in Vegas, but like I said, it's not worth it to get a felony.
We did those pre-felon days.
Yes. I got the jumps in before it was illegal. Yeah.
Awesome. So, okay, so you hounded a guy, he taught you. Mm-hmm. What's like the typical route? Because you obviously didn't do this the typical way.
Yeah, I learned a very unique way. They actually now have a word for it. They call it death camping. And that's where you learn how to base jump before you learn how to skydive. Yeah, I kind of took an alternative route.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily think it was the right way or the wrong way. It just is.
It was your way.
It was my way. It's what I did, and it all ended up fine, but I definitely recommend that people go skydiving first.
Yeah. Well, I'm like so dearly afraid of heights, and you were trying to get me to skydive when we were talking on the
I
phone.
will get you to skydive. There is no me trying to get you to skydive. It's going to happen.
Your willpower and my willpower combined would be deadly. So
Right?
I don't know whose is going to win. But it's not the first time I've been approached to do it, just because, you know, with all the flying, and I have some friends who fly skydivers. I don't necessarily want to, as they say, jump out of a perfectly good working airplane.
Well, see, that's what we do, is we make sure that the airplane isn't perfectly good and you want to jump out of it. So from your perspective, when you get in the airplane and it's held together by duct tape and cut up pool noodles and there's nothing else on the inside,
You're ready to jump.
you're like, okay, get me the fuck out of this. My advice to anyone who wants to go skydiving is to go out and watch it a couple times, and then it desensitizes you to the process. And when you see, you know, 50 people show up and be nervous and get in a plane and come down and they're excited, you're like, oh, okay, maybe I can do this.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Plus, I can be there to give you like high fives in free fall.
fair enough. In free fall?
Yeah. I think you would have a good time with it. You're like, I don't think so.
Heck,
There's still time.
there's still time, exactly. So you made a career out of this. How?
That's a $1 million question right there. I don't think that there's any real like tip or trick for turning this into a career path. I just had no desire to really do anything else, and so I kind of gave myself no other option but to continue doing this. So I make money in a bunch of different ways. I license footage, I do demonstration jumps, I teach, I do stunt work, I do commercials and movies and stuff like that. So it's really about being comfortable not knowing where your next paycheck is going to come from.
Yeah.
And then just doing whatever you have to do. So you can focus more on the overall of just like doing what I love, and everything else kind of works itself out.
Sure. Is there like an overseeing authority over base jumping that you have to like comply? I mean, you know, as a pilot, we got to deal with the FAA.
Yeah.
Do you have anything like that?
There is none of that in base jumping. In skydiving there's a whole governing body, but in base jumping it's kind of still just a renegade sport, which I like. I think it's better that way. It keeps a lot of people out of the sport, and it puts way more responsibility on you as an individual rather than relying on, you know, somebody else to make
Hold your
rules.
hand. Yeah.
Yep.
So what have you been doing while we've been talking?
So this is just packing the parachute, but for the most part we try to do our best to pack in a way that's going to give us the most on-heading opening.
Now, have you ever had a bad?
I have had...
I'm afraid to ask. But
You're good. I have had one bad base jump.
one? That's not bad for many, many years ago.
Yeah, almost 15 years, and I've had one pretty bad one. I had an off-heading opening in Moab in Utah.
Yeah.
The main problem was I slipped off the exit, and so that sent me sideways already, which means by the time I was opening, I was already 90 degrees to the wall, and then I had a 90-degree off-heading opening, so I literally opened facing
Oh my gosh.
the wall, like dead on, and flew into the wall. I ended up hitting it one time, but I kicked off of it, and I was able to back my parachute up. They don't fly super well backwards, but you can back them up, and I was able to back it up just enough that I could turn it around and land safely in the landing area.
No kidding.
So it was the best possible outcome for a really shitty situation,
yeah,
where I really only just sprained my ankle.
that was it. You just sprained your ankle.
Yep. There's
that
a lot
was
of
pushing
psychological trauma that came along with it. But yeah, kicking off the wall is what did my ankle in, and I was fine the next week and went back and got a redemption jump.
You just went back 1 week later. I think it would have taken me a little bit longer.
I was able to look at it kind of more critically, and then also at the same point, I was able to understand and feel more confidence in myself and my ability, because I'd always wondered how I would react in a situation like that.
Sure.
And you never know until you're put in it.
Yeah, it's
and
not really
so
something you can train.
I kind of walked away and I was like, okay, I feel better knowing that I can handle a situation like that.
Sure.
So it actually kind of provided a little bit of a confidence boost.
Now, there's not a lot of women in this sport.
Yeah. When I first learned how to base jump, there were about 50 women in the entire world who had jumped.
Really?
It was very male dominated. Luckily over the last couple years,
Love the kids.
luckily over the last couple years, there has been an increase in the female participants, which is really nice to see. But it's still pretty male dominated.
Yeah. Do you think there's a reason for that, or just that it's kind of adrenaline, it's kind of, you gotta be a little crazy to do it?
Yeah, I think it's the nature of the sport. I also think that it's kind of a brutal environment sometimes with like the shit giving, and there's a lot of like bros in the sport. So you kind of have to have a thick skin in order to kind of have a long and healthy jumping career. And it's starting to change a little bit with more female presence, but it's still kind of a pretty egotistical, like brutal sport sometimes. So
Yeah.
I think that's part of the reason.
I kind of feel like you need to have a bit of an ego to do this, because I mean, you're putting your entire life in this thing. You're jumping off something, and you're relying on yourself and your awareness and
Absolutely.
your reaction to.
I think that there's a healthy amount of ego that goes into it.
I mean, yeah,
but at the same
definitely.
point, I feel like there's a lot of like dudes who just want to be badass. And that's kind of where the conflict came with when I learned, because there's all these, super burly, gnarly dudes who are participating in this sport that makes them so badass. And then this like little 16-year-old girl's like, hi guys, I'm a base jumper too.
So you weren't quite accepted very well.
Not
beginning.
initially, no. No, it took a while. And I understand I had to prove myself, but at the same point it was not a very welcoming environment at first.
Yeah, for sure. You're so methodical about this.
I've done it a lot of times.
We're packing this up,
Yep.
and then we're gonna go up to, there's the point where we start hiking.
Yep.
To exit.
Yep.
And that's about a 15-20 minute hike. And then yeah, you
then
go.
I jump.
And then I watch.
Yep.
And I hike down.
Yep. Luckily, it's not too like brutal of a hike, so it's not going to be too scary to hike down.
Okay.
You guys will be
Well, I don't mind
just
hiking.
fine for the walk.
Yeah,
down.
hiking is okay. Do you know I hiked Kilimanjaro a couple years ago?
No, that's awesome.
Do you know how I got down?
No.
They evacuated me by helicopter.
What? What happened?
42% oxygen
No
saturation.
way.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yes.
How long
No.
did it take you to recover after that?
I kind of still am. Half my toes were numb for about 6 months.
Holy.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So that hike is not gonna be
Yeah.
something.
You're going to be fine.
I'm gonna care.
You're going to
Yeah.
be just fine.
I'll be all right with that.
I try not to assume, because I've definitely taken people out before where I just am like, they're active, they'll be just fine. And then you're babysitting all the way down and you're like, I'm so sorry, I had no idea that you couldn't do this.
I'm excited about this.
Good.
I'm excited to see a jump firsthand. I see all your stuff on Instagram. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, not
And,
many people see it like live. They always see the recorded version or
Yeah.
the edited version.
Exactly.
Now you get to see how the mood is up there too. A lot of people think that it's this super crazy, like extreme adrenaline filled, and it's really not. It's like super like calm and peaceful, and there are some people that are in it for that, but that's not my MO. I feel like if I'm that nervous, then there's something wrong and I probably shouldn't jump.
Right?
Which I've walked down from plenty of jumps in my day, so I don't have an ego about that part.
Wow. And then this guy, what is this guy?
So that's the pilot chute. That is, when you do bigger jumps, that's the thing that's like stowed beneath, so you like jump and you throw it out.
Yeah.
This is kind of shorter, so I'm actually going to jump with it already in my hand. So I'll jump and I'll throw it.
Okay.
And it pulls the parachute from the very center so that it can catch air.
Okay.
And so this is a ram air canopy.
Yeah.
Air comes in from the front, it's closed off on the back, and that's how we can not die. I'm sure you have a much more scientific explanation than that, but mine works.
Yeah, no, that works for me too.
So that's just kind of what initiates the whole opening sequence.
And I love it. You're dressed in like normal clothes. Like
Yep.
you don't need to have something crazy to do this.
Some jumps you want to be a little bit more protected than others. When I get to the top, I'll throw on a helmet and a pair of knee pads because I like to protect my knees, especially if I eat shit on landing.
I would insist on a helmet.
I did a lot of base jumps without a helmet because originally my whole thought was that if you're hitting something, you're hitting the ground, and the helmet's not going to help in that case. But it does help for superficial stuff, and you know, in the event that you do eat shit when you're landing, you're not going to get a concussion or something like that. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've had a concussion before in a soccer game. I was a goalkeeper.
Yeah, those are not fun.
I dove into the goalpost. It was good.
Oh my god.
It explains a lot, I'm sure.
And that's when you decided to become a pilot?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, concussions are never fun. I've had a couple of those, so try to do our best to avoid those.
Amen. You teach people how to pack, and it's called packing a rig?
Yeah, we just call this our rig, so.
Okay.
Yep.
Does anybody ever have other people pack rigs for them?
Absolutely. They have other people pack for them a lot. I've actually packed for a bunch of different people as well, but I don't really like letting people pack for me.
I would think that that would make me really nervous.
Exactly.
I mean, Lord forbid if I packed for somebody else and then they had an accident. I would feel horrible.
Yeah. Yep. That's how I feel. I'm confident in my packing that I pack for other people, but I don't trust people enough, which might be an issue in like normal life, but in this, I feel like that's one of the things that's kind of kept me alive and kept me around, because I'm not going to trust some rando to throw together the one thing that's going to save my life.
Sure. Is there a get out of jail free card? Like, can you...
Yeah, it's called luck.
It's called luck, that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing. No, if there's a mistake, the worst case scenario is you die. The best case scenario is you get severely injured. So
Wow.
you kind of got one
All
shot
right.
at it.
So, yeah, pack your own.
Yeah. Yep. Always
Wow.
look out for yourself. It's the #1 rule.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's absolutely crazy. Cool.
Yeah, that's why I'm such a psycho about packing for myself. I would rather take all responsibility. So we're done.
Nice. All right.
Throw this in here, and then we can start the hike.
I don't feel like I helped you very much, but it was very fascinating listening to you.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's not really a two-person job.
Well, especially now that you
Yeah.
tell me, like,
You're like, I swear all I did was touch the rig for a second.
ready. Sweet.
Thank you.
Yep. This girl is 100% genuine badass. So we've been hiking for a minute, and I'm exhausted. This is a power through. This is a gym workout. Look at them, they're like way over there. I'll catch up, I promise. But I'm really tired. It was really dangerous too, it was very slippery. I did not wear the right hiking shoes. But mind you, I wasn't planning on mountaineering either. So, let's go catch up. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Did you see that? That was amazing! Oh my gosh! Oh, I have to get over my fear of heights. Now I have to go back down. That was so cool. Oh my gosh. Alright, let's get down.
Dude, fun?
Oh my goodness! That was amazing.
Yeah, you think you're gonna do it one day?
No.
Come on. They do tandem base jumps too. And one of my best friends, who I've known for like 10 years, this guy Andy Lewis, he does tandem base jumps in Moab. So, well, keep that in the like maybe one day if you like have a lapse of judgment.
A lapse of
Then we'll go.
judgment,
Yeah.
I feel like I would need to in order to have the guts to do
Whatever
that.
gets you over the end. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, no, I feel like a helicopter could land me down at the spot, and then maybe,
Yeah.
like,
We can arrange
that would be fine.
We can arrange that.
But I would.
So what you're saying is we need to like strand you somewhere and be like, all right.
And
so
I would need to like clamp onto the person like this. Okay, you got me. Let's go.
they'd hold you
And
like
that's-
this from behind. It's like, you know.
Yeah, no, but that means I'm looking over, and that might.
We'll blindfold you. You'll be fine.
Okay. heart was pumping as much as mine was, but after seeing all of that, we all decided to go grab a beer. So we're gonna go down to Arcadia Tavern. That's where we're headed right now. And we'll wrap up with Claire and just kind of get a little bit more insight into how to get into this incredible industry and see, you know, how she felt about the jump. She survived.
Survived. All right, how was that for you though?
So
for me, it's totally normal. I always like to see how other people react
to you jumping,
Yeah. Process.
like it was so unreal. Like this is like a thing that you do. Like it's like a normal thing. People turn on Netflix and watch a show or binge or like go and I don't know, crochet with read book clubs, like that kind of stuff. And it's like, no, we're gonna pack the chute at the park. We're gonna go hike ridiculously high. Like
That was a low jump. That was a low jump. Sorry. I'm starting to realize that my idea of hiking and most other people's idea of hiking is way different.
Yeah.
Because this is not the first time that this has happened where I've been like, oh yeah, and then it's a little bit of a hike and people show up and they're like, we're rock climbing. And I'm like, no, there's no ropes.
Well, I wasn't so bad about that part, but the second it started to get super steep, I was like, wow, I've got nothing, and my fear, like my vertigo, if that was going to happen, it was going to happen.
Yep.
So that was a little unnerving, and then like, you guys just disappeared.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, well, I'm just going to chill here and watch the sunset, and eventually something's going to happen. And then when I saw you guys, I just couldn't believe, like, they're just flying in the air right now. Like that was totally, it was beautiful.
Was it what you expected it to
not from where I was.
Yeah.
Like seeing that was different.
Yeah.
You know.
I noticed that it's usually a lot more peaceful than what people expect, because in videos a lot of times you edit it together with like crazy music and it looks fast-paced and gnarly, and when you see it in person a lot of times it's way more relaxed. And you're like, it's silent, and then there they go, and then there's a shotgun blast at the canopy opening.
It was, like I said, it was beautiful. I mean,
Nice.
you had the sunset, you had the mountain. I mean, it was serene.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I loved it. I mean, but that was normal for me, so.
Do you love it every single time?
Yeah, if I didn't love it, I wouldn't do it. It's way too dangerous to just kind of like enjoy it a little bit sometimes. It's like, it's full commitment. You're either in it or you're not, and if you're not enjoying it, you shouldn't do it. And kind of take that into like a lot of my life. So yeah, it's like fully involved, fully loving it. I'm not gonna do it.
Where do you want to take it?
Well, shit, I don't even know anymore. I've been doing it for 15 years. I just want to keep doing it. I don't know if there is like an end goal.
Is there an apex at all? Like, is it, I don't know, is it going to be an Olympic sport eventually?
I highly doubt that it'll ever be anything sanctioned like that. Everyone tries to kind of throw in competitions here and there, but a lot of times the competitions are kind of forced and manufactured, because you can't really judge something like that. Like our judgment of it is like, did it look good and did the person not die? Okay, cool. Like, you win.
So the standards are like a little low.
Standards are pretty low. It's just survival, and I think the apex is when I'm not having fun anymore. Then that's it.
Yeah.
So won't have a problem walking away if it's ever at that point, but it's have yet to even come close to that. So
I was going to say, you're living your life every day.
yeah, absolutely.
That's cool.
Absolutely, I love it.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for showing me your world. This is just like, it's crazy.
Thanks for making the drive. That was a commitment on your part. I was already here, so it's no sweat off my back.
Well, we can't really do this in Vegas now,
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
So
Let's change that. We got a lobby or something.
I see all these base jumpers marching on Washington.
Yeah, no one's gonna care.
Marching on Carson City.
Yeah, there you go. That's pretty funny.
Well, I have something for you. I know
Right.
you have a fly sticker.
Yes.
But you launched.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I saw you
That is
launch.
amazing.
So
Ladies,
you have a
it's
new
time to launch.
launch sticker
Awesome.
for you.
Yep, I like it.
Do you still have the other one on your helmet, or did you get a different helmet?
I have a different helmet now, so this will go on my new helmet,
Perfect.
which actually has no stickers on it right now, so this will be the first.
Excellent. I like it.
Awesome.
Very cool. Well, thank you again, Claire. You guys have got to check this woman out. She's all over Instagram, all over social. We're the Base Girl.
The Base Girl. Yep, at the Base Girl on Instagram. I don't really use Facebook very much, so yeah.
Instagram, where it's at.
Instagram is where it's at. And don't forget to subscribe to this. I think the links are below.
Join the crew. Claire and I are in the crew. Join that crew. Hit the subscribe button wherever it is down underneath this screen, and we'll link your Instagram.
Perfect.
We'll link where we were and some information on how to get into base jumping if you want to get into base jumping.
Yep.
But thank you so much for coming with us on this adventure. I was freaked out, and my fear of heights came in, but that's okay because I still went. I still did it. Seeing her jump was amazing. So thank you so much for watching this, and hit that subscribe button.
Fun time.
Good stuff.
That was awesome.
Cool.